Bonjour, mate. Chris from Climate Custom Guitars here. Just giving a bit of a wrap up on the old story of Hephaestus and how we got here. Placed 5th in the kick build competition. Could not be happier for 2 reasons. Number 1, I started building guitars a year ago, and whilst I put a shit load of work into this, I then also had to do a shit load of work to try and secure the votes to make the top 10, and everything and anything I did along the way, I had some form of support. And so there are people that I need to thank, not just the people who voted for me. Yay, thank you so much. Now, I did write this down in, well, I thought I was writing it in chronological order, but it's kind of, as I got through and remembered something from higher up the list, it's become anachronic. So, anachronological? Anyway, so I have some people to thank. So I'm just going to riff them off in the order they are on the list, despite it not being chronological. To my dad and to a friend who wants to remain nameless because it may potentially create a conflict of interest with their work. Thank you so much for your help on the photos. I took half the photos, a friend took half the photos, and then my dad did a lot of all the processing and the editing because he's become a very, very, very good photographer. He understands Lightroom and all that kind of stuff, and the color balancing and everything, and just those fine details where the amount of work I put into this, I wanted to leave nothing for chance. The photos was what you all saw, so the fact that I got the votes I got and that I got where I got to with the judges, a lot of that, and I think the photos were complimented actually by James and Co. And Laura, etc. on the announcement video as they were reacting to it. And that's just evidence right there that initial snap impact of what people saw was incredibly important, and thank you so much for your help in getting those photos looking as great as they were. To Richie Eames, my mate Matt's brother, who is a metal worker and artist, who after I sent him the plans, sent me this metal skeleton exactly, and he did it by hand, and it's fantastic. Richie, thank you so much. It was exceptional. I'll get to it later. You'll see. I may yet have a call for another one. Exact same specs again, mate. We'll talk. To Talita. Sorry, I don't know if it was Talita or Talita. I can never quite hear because your name's always said off camera. For your editing through the entire process, not just of the GGBO, but all the videos you do for Crimson, which the Crimson guitar videos that Ben and others host have been a huge source of inspiration and learning resource for me. Right, we live in an age where we can access anything on YouTube, blah blah. It's the editors, right? And I've got some other friends who back me up on this, right? Good actors and good films, etc. It's the editors that bloody do it. It's not necessarily the actors. So thank you for everything you did, and thank you for throwing in my music video into the final video. Because I was quite proud of that, and I wanted people to see. I was being extroverted that day. To James, Mr. GGBO himself, I was glad to see you in the final video there, mate, on the judging panel, and really nice to hear the things you had to say about me and Hephaestus. It was a pleasure working with you and speaking to you as well. I hope we do some more in the future. But yeah, 200 and something guitars and people emailing you, asking you questions, posting bios, all the photos, running that all, not easy. Not easy at all. You've been stellar, mate, all while trying to do your own guitar course, and here you are looking after the rest of us. So, mate, thank you. And like I said, really look forward to speaking to you again in the future. To my Instagram brothers, ZRPC, otherwise known as Terrell, to Scott Bonehead Guitars, Andrew from Reality Studios Incorporated, and Cade from Ravencroft. You four were like my pillars of grounding, and we've chatted on the Discord and on Instagram. We've been supporting each other, and you guys for me were like my four cornerstones, my pillars, that we could discuss freely and openly about everything and anything. And I think of you guys as a lot more than just some online acquaintances now. And I hope that's mutual. And if not, I'll buy you a beer or something when we're on the same continent. But yeah, a special mention to Scott. I think we all, those of us in the competition, know just how hard Scott has worked, how influential and helpful he has been. He's a source of inspiration for me for my videos, because my videos are more like a vlog in the older sense of the word. Right? I'm not trying to demonstrate to people too much. I'm not trying to teach people anything. This is just documenting my journey of trying to become a luthier, even in a novice sense. So thank you to you, my brother. To following on from the Instagram stuff, Sandman Business Services. On the final day of voting, or what should have been the final day of voting, right, we'll talk about this at length, but watch your computer or your watch when it goes 23:59. Watch what happens when it goes midnight. Watch what happens to the date. On what should have been the final day of voting, I literally went door to door, because I'd got this massive surge of voting from my colleagues, from my cousins and everyone on Facebook and everyone they shared it with. I think they shared it 50 times. My Reddit post got over 600 upvotes. I just, like, my sort of quote unquote marketing campaign, as it were, amateur as though it was, that sort of kicked into another gear when I was going door to door with leaflets and around the local pubs, and somebody ended up sharing it to about 500 accounts. They're like an influencer, I think, in the general area, and sort of supporting me as a local guy, just trying to punch it up there with the big dogs, etc. So thank you very much for your support and your help. I think that probably gave a little extra 5% kick I needed to get into the top 10. Similar note to my cousins back in New Zealand, the Bait-Ups and the Climos. Well, not just in New Zealand now. I think where are we guys? We're in Australia. Where's Nick? Is Nick in China? No, Nick was in China. I think now he's back in Australia. We're not Australian. They just live there. But you guys have been incredibly supportive and loving and helpful. So thank you so much for all your help and your sharing and everything like that. To my family directly, Liz, Jane, Mum, Dad, thank you so much for your support and your help. I'm pretty sure one of the two of you may have been nagging like neighbours and stuff to vote for me. Thank you so much for your love and support. And you've kept me going through, some of the harder times. And I miss you all like bloody crazy, being back there in old COVID-free New Zealand while I live through this. Oh, I'm not the only one. Similar note to my in-laws, Maurice et Thierry. Merci beaucoup pour tout entier. You were exceptional and amazing. I'm going to address my French following. For those who don't know, my French in-laws basically did what I did, the door-to-door thing, of their own accord, just started going around Saint-Saurson in Lyon and basically asking like the baker and the candlestick maker and every Tom, Dick and Harry in between, or I suppose it'd be Thomas, Richard, Harry, to vote for me. So your support was not inconsequential. Thank you so much. To the judges, actually, because not an easy job. I know a lot of you have got, it can't be easy running and maintaining large YouTube channels between the editing, the topics and everything you've got to do. So I hope it didn't, affect your brands too much in any way. But, the process itself wasn't easy, but you had to get involved and most of you were happy enough to. I don't really see a huge net commercial benefit to your channels from doing this. So it was great that you got involved and were able to share that to all these people and to basically just get the word out there for the charity, because I think next year this thing's going to be massive. And a lot of that will be off the back of some of the, sharing that you've done of your videos and stuff like that. So, and a special thanks to the ones who voted for me. To my friends, my North London crew, to my bandmates, Andy, Tal, Dan, to my Twa crew from Ealing. You guys have been great, apart from that awful Ross, who basically said, why aren't you building the flamethrower guitar from Mad Max? Ross, maybe next year, but probably not, but maybe. But thank you to you guys for all your love and support. Jimmy Alexander, especially, and his beautiful wife Laura, they were very, very supportive as well. Sort of an extra step above. So it doesn't really leave me with too many other people to thank, other than kind of the main two, which are Ben Crow, mate. Your videos have been a source of inspiration, but also for someone who likes to take on things and learn. I found your videos to be engaging, but I like to think that I can read a person, and I think you're a great guy, and I truly believe that you really just want other people to be able to learn this stuff. It's not like some dark art you have to go find some old Czech guy down an alleyway and, be in his good books and he trains one other luthier or something like that. You've tried to spread the word on the GGBO and by creating it, but most of my learning about how to do this or that, what tools I may or may not need, has come from you. A few others. There's a guy called Chris Ramsey. There's an excellent woodworking channel if you haven't found it. He's a lovely guy, and most of my basic woodworking skills I got from him and my father and my old shop teacher Rob Brown. Don't know if he'll ever see this, but Rob Brown, thank you so much for all your help over the years. I was not the greatest student. But yeah, Ben, also, Ben, if you are really serious, because I've been told twice now that you are, if you are serious about actually buying Hephaestus, it would be bloody hard to let it go. What I would do for you is I would make you a Mark II at cost, which would have none of the same flaws. And, maybe if you want to build a neck for it, or you want me to just build the body for it and you do the neck, or you wait for me to get my shed built in a couple of weeks and I practice a few times and I build you a neck. But I would happily make you one, mate, at cost, to own. We'll talk. Right? I think you've got my email address. I've emailed James several times, so if you want to get in touch and have a chat, be happy to. But I can't thank anyone more through all of this than my beautiful darling wife. Honey, you know that I've got this habit of throwing myself into things and getting a bit carried away, like the box, as it was come to be known. Basically, I made the game Gwent from The Witcher 3. I made it, like the cards, a box, a board, and everything like that, as a present for my best man Jab. You just kind of roll your eyes and go, here he goes again. But you smile and you love me for that, and you support me, and it's everything. It's looking after our daughter when she was crying on an afternoon, when I'm stuck out in the garden and I don't get onto dinner until late. You sacrificed some things in order for me to be able to realize what started as a hobby and very, very quickly became a passion. And I wouldn't have been able to put the time and effort required into making this if you hadn't afforded me that. And at no point have you been snide or pissy about me spending so much time building guitars. We've joked about what I've done to the spare room, but it is what it is. 2 more weeks, babe. 2 more weeks. Get that workshop up. But I bloody love you. I just really do, and thank you so much, just for everything. Now I am rambling a little bit, and I do have to go make dinner now, because this is the second video I recorded, because the first one I was wearing some glasses and all you could see was the ring light on my eyes. It looked stupid. So it is now getting on. There's a thunderstorm rolling in. GGBO 2021 5th place. I'm terrified and excited. Now that I've seen the quality, I'm terrified to enter again next year, but I'm also excited about what more I can do. As for what's coming up for Climo Custom Guitars. I've got 3 more I've got to get finished. The Yeti is moving on. I've gotten back into that now. So some videos of that coming soon. I've got 2 more on the way, a Jaguar and another Telecaster, respectively called the Judge and Mode. And they will be done soon. And then as soon as that workshop's up, I'm going to start a pretty cool and exciting, my first ever commission. And I'm so excited about that. I've got a million different ideas. But the other thing is, I've got a million different ideas for GGBO next year. So if you think you're safe in the scratch build, watch this space. This Climo's coming for you. But anyway, I better go because I've got dinner to make and a song in the back of my head that I can't get rid of. Thanks, Reddit. Ka kite anō. Nagani yes. Ooh.